Hey, this is SJ Talks Tonight coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you.
Mr. Wilson is not Zariah's biological father. Do you know who is?
No, but the kids is his though. I'm not thinking that.
You wouldn't have
the kids is his, so there's no other possible father. No, the kids is his.
So if Zariah is not your biological child,
I'm gonna be sad because that's a wonderful little child and she shouldn't be put through that. What she's going through with her mother. I'm gonna be real sad.
Aww.
All right, I'm ready for the results because I mean I'm trying to be patient with you, Miss Butler, but you on my last nerve right now. If this is all too messy and you seem to be too comfortable with it.
No, it is messy though, and I want to do better. It's not cute though. It's really not.
You're still doing it today. Multiple men coming out of the house right now as we speak.
No, it's not.
That's why I took my kids from over there.
Oh my God.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Wilson versus Butler, when it comes to 4-year-old Zariah Butler, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Wilson, you are not the father.
Lord Jesus.
Are not?
Yeah, she said it. I'm not the daddy.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
That's not crazy.
Zariah?
Yeah, she's not my baby. You better go make some phone calls.
He said, better make some phone calls.
That's crazy.
Look at the judge.
He is not Zariah's biological father.
4 years I've been telling you.
Zariah? That is sad.
Yeah, it is. You don't know who the daddy
Let
is.
it hit you. Come on out, because you've been in this fog for far too long. So come on out. Yes, it's sad.
This is real sad.
I don't think I've ever seen a young woman stand in a courtroom and be so cavalier about sleeping with everybody that she feels like. And you supposed to be running around here taking care of this baby, and she 4 years old. She's supposed to be learning her nursery rhyme.
Oh, baby.
And all you can sing is eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Who's the daddy? You don't know.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's the part I wanted to play. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Who's the daddy? You don't know. And she's sitting there smiling like it's funny. It's not nothing funny. That's what I wanted to talk about. What I have learned watching Paternity Court. As I said in another video, I did another video, Paternity Fraud. I'm going to link that video over to this one, where this woman had this man paid thousands of dollars to her in child support for a child that wasn't even his. And I think, come to find out in that case, that it wasn't his baby or her baby. I believe it turned out it wasn't his baby or hers. She used somebody else's baby to get child support out of this man. And they locked her up, and so they should have. So it was that video where I was talking about how I'm addicted to Paternity Court. I'm just addicted to Paternity Court. I'm addicted to this show. I can binge watch Paternity Court all day. And I like to guess what I do. I like to guess, yeah, he the daddy. Sometimes I'm not sure. Most of the time I am right. Because you can't always go by looks. Most of the time I am right. But what I was thinking, what I have learned watching all these episodes of Paternity Court, assuming that these cases are real, I've learned a lot watching all these episodes of Paternity Court. I learned that I know Black women's HIV rates are high, pretty high in this country. I think the highest of all other races of women. And I notice how a lot of black women that come on here are sleeping with multiple men. And I've seen several cases on here where the black women, and I hate to say that, and sometimes it's white women too. Sometimes white women come on here and they've slept with multiple men, so it's not just the black women, but sometimes it's white women too. But I'm especially concerned about my sisters because black women's HIV rates are extremely high in the black community. So I'm especially concerned about black women. And I noticed that, like in her case, she slept with multiple men and don't even know who the father is. I've seen another case where the woman brought in two men and neither one of them was the daddy. And the judge asked her, "Do you know who the possible father is?" And she said she didn't know. She started crying and said, "I don't know." And I feel bad for the babies because the babies need to know who their fathers are. I've seen one case where the mother slept with two men and the boy was grown, and she bought the father in there. Um, the boy was 25 years old, and she had slept with another man. In that case, he turned out to be the father. But it's like, okay, this man didn't have a relationship with his father for 25 years. That's crazy. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of black women are being irresponsible. They're being irresponsible and they're sleeping with multiple men. And I'm glad that the judge is holding these women accountable, and she's letting them know, she lectures them, and she lets them know how irresponsible they are, and that they need to learn to be more responsible. And she lets them know, you need to learn your worth. You need to know that you shouldn't, you need to value yourself more than to be being with these multiple men. So I love it how she lectures them, and she counsels the young ladies, and she tells them, that they shouldn't be doing that. But I feel bad for the child in those cases because the child don't know who their father is. They don't have the opportunity to have a relationship with their father because the mothers don't know who the daddy is. So I just think that's sad and I noticed there's a lot of cases like that where, like I said, there's some white ones too that come in there that don't know who the daddy is. But I'm particularly concerned about my sisters because this is an epidemic in the black community. It's too many of our children that's being raised in single parent homes, and this I've said it multiple times in many videos. Got to do things God's way, and 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 black women's HIV rates are high. So, um, how do we how do we get to young girls at a young age? If we get to them at a young age and let them know that they need to abstain, because I'm an advocate for abstinence until marriage, abstaining until marriage. Um, how do we get through to these young ladies that they need to abstain until marriage? How do we do it? I mean, how do we do it? How do we get through to them that they need to start abstaining until marriage? Same with men. Same goes for the men. Same rules for the men. The Bible says that people should not be having relations until marriage. And I know not everybody believes in the Bible, but that's the problem. But that's the problem. We're not doing things God's way, and then when you don't do things God's way, there's a lot of problems. You're gonna have a lot of problems. Um, and you have to suffer the consequences. Now this child doesn't he's not the father. She don't know who the daddy is because she done slept with multiple men. It don't make no sense, and there's a lot of cases on here like this. And I'm realizing that's why one of the reasons why uh, black women's HIV rates are high. It's too much promiscuity going on in the black community, and how do we get through to young ladies that they need to abstain? They need to not be sleeping with multiple men. I'm not trying to be judgmental here, but it's too many of these cases where these children, the mothers sleeping with multiple men, and don't they can't find the child's father. It don't make no sense. And another thing that I've learned watching Paternity Court was I noticed how when the black fathers, I'm not really necessarily talking about the white cases with the white people, but I'm talking specifically talking about, because in the black community, there's a high um, single motherhood rate. Statistically, it's a high single motherhood rate in the black community, and statistically, there's lots of fatherless children in the black community statistically. Um, but they said that statistically, black fathers are more in their are more active in their children's life. Now that is a stat that says black men are more active in their children's life. And I noticed there is a lot of cases on here where the men, some cases the men thought that they were the father. They thought they was the father of the child, and then it turns out they wasn't. And they had this one guy on here that he said, "I hope I'm the father," because he had already bonded with the child, black man. And then he found out that he wasn't the father, and I mean, he broke down and cried. He broke down and cried when he found out he wasn't the father because he had already bonded with the baby. He broke down and cried. And I noticed, and then in a lot of cases, a lot of these cases, the fathers, the black fathers, I'm particularly talking about the black fathers, are coming forth and they're saying that I'm gonna be there anyway. And I think that is a stand up thing for a man to do. I love those cases where the men find out they're not the father, but they say, I'm a you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and um that's my baby. I'm gonna go on and be there for the baby anyway. It just brings tears to my eyes. I love to see that. And so, I know a lot of black men be saying, I'm not gonna be no daddy and take care of no kids that another man's seed. And I know it's a lot of black men on social media that be saying that, but a lot of these guys on here, black men, particularly talking about the black men, and this is some white men's too, but I'm talking about the black men and women. There is a lot of cases where these black men are coming forth and they're saying that they want to, even though they find out the child is not theirs, that they want to still step up and be in that baby's in the child's life because they already bonded with the baby. So I just think that is a beautiful thing. And I noticed that in some cases, um, the fathers say, yeah, I'm gonna step up, or they're already in the child's life, and but they're having doubts because the mother slept around, and then sometimes they turn out to be the father, and sometimes they don't turn out to be the father, but they still decide to step up anyway if they don't turn out to be the father. And in some cases, the men find out they are the father. They're very, very happy. They're extremely happy. Or some cases, the man didn't know he was the father and he wasn't in the child's life. And they find out that they're the father, and they're very extremely happy, you know. And of course, we know that it's the sooner you find out, the better, you know. Like that one case of that woman waited till that boy was 25 years old, and the man that did pay child support and that, but he didn't have a relationship with his father because she didn't know for sure. I'm like, why in the world would you wait that long? She waited 25 years, and the man didn't have a relationship with his father, and in that case, the father act like he wasn't excited to find out he was the father of the child. But yeah, in some cases, yeah, the men are relieved to find out they're not the father, and I'm noticing that um, there is a lot of cases where the black men said, they're happy that they find out they're the father. They planning on being very active in the child's life, and then some of them. Now I don't know. I don't know if she does updates on these cases. I don't know if they're actually, you know, I kind of wonder if they're actually following through with what they're saying that they're gonna be there for the child. But I don't know. I think she does do updates here and there. But it's this. I noticed, like I said, it's a lot of. There's a lot of cases where black women, the black women are sleeping with multiple men, and 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 black women, we just gotta do better. The black community, black men gotta do better. The black community gotta do better because, we gotta stop putting our children in this situation. Now I knew who my daddies were. I knew there was no question. There was no question in my mind because I wasn't sleeping around like that. But so there was never a question. There was never a doubt in my mind, and with both of them. So in my case, I wasn't sleeping around like that. But in a lot of cases, women are the women are doing that. It was some white women too, but I'm talking about the black community right now, because the HIV, black women's HIV rates are high. And so that's what my concern is that are these young ladies are not thinking about sexually transmitted diseases. These young ladies, then I'm not trying to be judgmental, but it is what it is. She just slept around with these multiple men unprotected. That's scary. Sisters, we got to do better. I know I didn't did better. Uh, got to start abstaining. Got to stop it. Got to stop it. Because the child winds up suffering. This poor baby don't know who her father is. Hopefully she can find out before the child gets too old. She didn't slept with all these guys, and she better be glad that's all she got was a baby, and not a sexually transmitted disease that she can't get rid of that can cost her life. Because that's happening to too many black women, and black community got to do better. Black men and black women need to do better, and stop doing all this sleeping around. That's what I learned watching Paternity Court, because I've been hooked on this show. I am addicted to this show. I like the guesses. Like I said, yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's his baby. in most cases, in most cases, um, I'm right. Most of the time, I am right, but sometimes I'm wrong. In rare cases, I'm wrong, and sometimes I'm not quite sure. So I'm not quite sure about this case, but I like to guess. I like to guess and see if. But I'm addicted to this show. But anywho, but that's what I learned watching this show, because I've watched multiple episodes of this show, and I'm noticing in a lot of episodes that there is a lot of promiscuity going on in the black community. We got to do better. We got to do better as a people. We got to stop putting our children in this situation. We need stronger black families. Start doing things God's way. When you don't do things God's way, you're going to have problems. Bottom line. You're going to have to suffer the consequences. There's consequences to everything that we do. We reap what we sow. And when you don't do things God's way, you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems every time. Sometimes, I seen this case the other day that the woman did everything right, and her husband still cheated on her and gave her STDs. So in rare cases, yeah, you know, in a lot of cases actually, you know, but see, he wasn't doing right. That's what I'm saying. Both men and women need to be doing things God's way, and that is the problem in the black community. Both, it ain't just on the women, it ain't just on the men. Black men and black women need to do better, period, because our children are having to suffer the consequences, from our irresponsibility and our actions. Okay, hit me up in that comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you watch Paternity Court? What are your thoughts on it? I'm addicted to the show. I be binge watching it. But let me know if you ever watch Paternity Court. Um, Hit me up in that comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on these cases where these mamas don't know who the daddy is. We got to do better. Okay, hit that. Please make sure you hit the like button. I need my algorithm to go up on my videos. And hit the share button. Until the next video, you guys be blessed.